Hello guys, so today's video is about why we left Africa and moved to the UK, and I'm going to share with you my experience and our experience and how it has been and the purpose of us being in the UK currently. So get watching and let me share with you. I am originally from a Democratic Republic of Congo, which is Central Africa, and it used to be known as Zaire, but now it's changed back to Democratic Republic of Congo. The reason why we left Congo was due to war at the time, and we had a very big, massive war, and soldiers were, doing what they do, and I just don't want to talk about it in detail because it brings back a lot of memories that kind of is too much for me to kind of express. The age that I moved into the UK, I was 8 at the time. Would I consider going back to Democratic Republic of Congo? I do not have issues going back, but because it's been so many years, there has been a few changes, and my language, especially when I speak Lingala, is not as great as people that are there. And there's a lot of things that I could be misled because they'll obviously know that I'm from Europe. Well, UK is not from Europe anymore, but they'll know that I'm from the UK, and they'll try and take advantage of that. The current situation in DR Congo is that obviously there's still war in certain parts of DR, and this is due to conflict, this is due to our diamond, this is due to our minerals, this is due to a lot of stuff, and it's settled, but it could be more settled for us. But the war has never stopped, it's still there, but it's just that it's not exposed as much in the media as it is happening at the country currently. So yeah, there is still war in certain parts of the DR Congo. What do I like about the UK? I like the stability, I like the education system, I like how the wages obviously could be better, but where we've come from Congo, obviously we don't have wages like that. So when it comes to like working wages, it's stable, it's fixed. For example, there's a lot of career paths, there's a lot of educations and systems if you want to go and study furthermore to extend your knowledge. There's a lot of opportunities being in the UK, which we didn't have in DR Congo. Obviously at the time we were quite young, so obviously we wasn't working, but comparing to my hometown, there's a lot of opportunities here. So this is the reason why I do like the UK as well. And we feel safe, and also we are stable and we have income coming in, so we're able to live a better life being in the UK. What I had noticed differently when I had arrived in the UK, please guys don't laugh. So basically we were at the airport, I think at the time, I remember it was London Heathrow. And God. So I saw a lady that was not the same colour as mine, she was white. And I noticed that her leg was black, but her skin was white. So then obviously I looked confused because obviously we don't have that in our country. So yeah, so I observed her and I was like, but her, in my head I was just thinking, her face is white, her legs are black. But now thinking about it, it was tights. But because again, in Congo, we don't have tights like that. We don't need it because it's hot. So I didn't understand why was her leg black and her face was white, but she was wearing tights. So I've learned it later on that, oh, all that time I was curious of that lady with the black leg, it was actually her wearing tights. Yes, I know, I'm fresh. So that was one thing I've noticed. And also, I noticed that the weather was very cold because we came, I believe, during the New Year period, like January, so it was very, very cold. Back in Congo, obviously we don't have cold, everything is always hot, so it was a different experience from what I'm usually used to. So it was so cold, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this country? I was literally shivering. It was just me, my siblings, and my mom and my dad. It was so cold. I was like, my first word when I had arrived in the UK was actually apple. Obviously, when I came in to the UK, I didn't know a word of English. At the time, at the time, I was speaking fluent French and fluent Lingala. So English wasn't in my vocabulary. So I'm still learning English as it goes. And my first word was apple, as I had mentioned. And I became so obsessed with the apple because every time I would see like onions, you see when you have those onions in an orange bag, like loads of them in an orange bag. In my head, I was thinking it was apple. I don't know why, because I tried apple for the first time when I arrived to the country, so I really loved it. And I kept on saying to my dad, I want that, pointing to the bags of onions. And instead of my dad telling me, oh no, it's not apple, it's onion, oh no. And then one time he bought the onion bag and obviously put it home, and I was quite excited. I'm thinking, yes, apple's here, apple's here. I looked at it and I was like, oh, so all the time it was onion. So yeah, so that was my first word, and that was a experience that I guess need to learn for myself to understand that it was not apple, it was the onion. So yeah, first word was apple. If I had the opportunity to choose to come to Europe or stay in Africa, I would have still chosen to come to Europe, and I would have put myself in my mom and my father's shoe. Obviously, our main priority is making sure that our children are safe in a safe environment. They're fed and well looked after. So I would have done the same thing that our parents did for us, because if it wasn't for them, I would not have been able to graduate, get a good job, have my child. So definitely it was worth the chance and the choice. And we're here today, and we thank our parents for allowing us to be here. And I will definitely do the same thing that our parents have done in order for us to survive. I did see a lot of things, obviously, while crossing the roads and going to a different area. So obviously that still does play on my mind, sorry. And yeah, but I guess childhood traumas, it does make you develop for the best or for the worst, obviously, as long as you see counseling, etc. And I remember actually when I had arrived in my first primary school, they told us to write a letter that we want to read to the whole school. Obviously, again, English was not my first language. I didn't know what to write. So I thought, let me write my journey to the UK. So obviously, I read, that we arrived because of war, and I saw lots of dead bodies, and it was just a lot. And at the time that I'm supposed to be reading it in front of everyone, obviously I felt sick at home. So my teacher read it out, and then when I came in, obviously everyone clapped for me. The second day I came in, everyone clapped for me, and I got like an award for giving the best story, which was a real life story, and still remembering each step that had happened. So it was a big impact in my life personally, and I'm guessing my brothers and sisters as well. But they were very, very little at the time. But you never know, children pick up things for such a young age. But yeah, so that's my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful time. Do take care. Bye.